Just a couple of days ago, we got some brand new information on Starfield coming from an official interview with Jamie Mallory, a producer working on Starfield at Bethesda, and I'm sure you all remember Jamie as the sandwich thief from the Starfield Direct. Well, this entire interview is on Bethesda.net, and of course I will leave a link to the interview in the description below, but we did get some brand new Starfield information which I obviously want to talk about because it all sounds very, very exciting. Now the first thing Jamie talks about when it comes to Starfield is actually the ship builder. When asked do you have a favourite project you've worked on, Jamie said, quote, "One that stands out is Starfield. The level of team collaboration on that project was off the charts, especially when it came to the ship builder. We had an amazing team with some developers who worked on the incredible snap maps in Doom 2016, and we've got this massive list of exciting features we're looking forward to discussing here and potentially implementing in the future. But shh, I can't spill all the details here," end quote. So clearly it really sounds like Bethesda put a ton of effort and work into the shipbuilder in Starfield, which is just perfect to hear, since I know it's something that everyone is very excited for in Starfield, including myself, and it's just great to hear how happy Bethesda seems with it. But moving on, Jamie was then asked about her first project with Bethesda, where she said the following: "Starfield holds a special place in my heart because it's my very first project with Bethesda. As the Strike Team producer, I had the privilege of working on some amazing aspects of the game. I was responsible for supporting the shipbuilder, the star map, terminals and mission boards." Now this, to me anyway, is very, very exciting. We just got a confirmation of mission boards in Starfield. Now for those of you who don't know, this is very likely a Radiant Quest mission board, where we can just walk up to said mission board and get some quick quests for some credits. Probably stuff like bounty hunting, smuggling, and the usual things you would expect. There is a mission board mod for Skyrim which is actually very popular and one I use myself in nearly every playthrough, and it adds a lot to the game. Even if it is just Radiant Quest, I'm very excited to hear more about this. Now if you do subscribe to me or watch my videos, you'll remember that in all of my city deep dive videos, I pointed out that every single city has these terminals in them. Every city has a different coloured terminal, and we actually get some insight here into what they'll be used for, and it is basically just what I speculated: story and lore. Jamie said, quote, "The terminals added another layer of depth to the game, usually giving players more insight into the story and lore for the area they are currently in. The mission board also kept us all on our toes, ensuring players had exciting challenges to tackle while exploring the cosmos," end quote. Of course, again, this all just sounds absolutely fantastic, and it's great that we now have a confirmation on what these terminals and stuff will do. They'll be giving us some information in whichever city we're on, and giving us some insight to the lore of said city, and maybe even some insight into how to find new quests, and maybe even some NPCs. Now, this part is definitely exciting. Jamie then goes on to talk about some more of the very weird ships that she's built in Starfield, and this actually made me laugh and get me even more excited than I already have been. So let me read it for you. Jamie said the following: "There are more terrible ideas for ships, one of which is a colossal sandwich soaring through space named the Griller. The name itself strikes fear, but when you witness this mammoth sub-like creation gracefully landing in a cutscene or zipping through the cosmos, it's pure comedic gold," end quote. So yes, we will be able to build a giant flying sandwich spaceship in Starfield. That sounds ridiculously stupid and fun and amazing. You all know I'm aiming to focus my channel on Starfield character builds once the game releases, and believe me, we're going to make a character build based around a sandwich pirate slash thief, and we're 100% going to be building this giant sandwich in that video. Another thing from this amazing interview that I really want to point out is that Jamie very briefly mentions that she likes to keep her sandwiches on her ship because it adds a slight element of risk during dogfights, aka spaceship battles. So I think she just confirmed that we can risk losing our cargo and storage during a dogfight, which is kind of exciting. That will definitely add a level of risk to exploring the dangers of space. Now, another big confirmation that we got was faction questlines, where Jamie said she's been diving deep into the questlines of all the different factions, and she's been pleasantly surprised by the incredible variety in those stories. Now, this is just absolutely perfect. We did know that some factions such as Constellation will have their own questlines, but a lot of people were kind of worrying that the faction questlines would all just be a part of the main story, much like Fallout 4. Now, honestly, one of my biggest hot takes is that I actually really like the factions of Fallout 4, even the Railroad. I really like the Railroad, and I really enjoyed that they were all tied into the main story. However, I definitely agree that having no other factions with their own questlines outside of the main story, or DLC, really sucked. So it's great to see that this is returning for Starfield and we finally have unique faction questlines outside of the main quest. Now that is pretty much everything of note that Jamie had to say about Starfield in particular, but this entire interview was a really great read, so I definitely recommend checking it out. Again, it will be linked in the description below. But just to very quickly give my thoughts, we've got a few new confirmations here, obviously, which is absolutely great, you know, flying sandwiches, faction questlines, a bit of lore, and some other smaller stuff. We are officially less than a month away from Starfield's release, and I am so excited, it's unreal. If you're on the Discord, I'm sure you know how hyped I am by now with how much I've been hyping in our Starfield channel. I haven't been this excited for a game since Fallout 4, and I'm so ready to dive in. But look, I won't make this video any longer than it needs to be, so we'll just wrap up here. If you did enjoy the video, please consider dropping it a like, as it really does help out myself and the channel as a whole. And look, if you are new around here and you want to stay up to date on everything Starfield and see some cool character builds and lore videos and all that good stuff when the game finally drops, consider subscribing. I've got you fully covered here, and we also talk about plenty of other offline single player open world RPGs as well. As always, an absolute huge thank you to our channel members. You guys mean just the absolute world. You're all beautiful people, so thank you again for being here and supporting me day after day, month after month. But with all of that said and done, thank you all so much for watching, guys, and I really hope to see you next time. Peace.